Let's do some mom math. So as a modern mom, I work, but I also do a lot of household chores, especially on my days off. And if I were to possibly outsource any of these chores, it would cost me so much money to do that because we basically have to hire our own village. So this is just a video about mom math and how much I save my household on the daily, especially on my days off. I'm a nurse, so I work 3 12-hour shifts a week, but keep in mind that my husband does all the childcare and most of the household chores on the days that I do work, and I try to do everything else on my days off so that we're a team and we balance each other out and not just one person is getting overloaded with tasks because it can be a lot. And so my days off are not really days off. It's catching up on household chores like dishes and vacuuming and mopping. Now, if I were to hire a house cleaner in the area, which I have just one time since moving in, it would cost me $50 an hour. So it's obviously cheaper to do it on my own. If I were to hire someone for Instacart or whatnot, those fees are insanely high and it's easier to just do it on my own, even if it does save me time. I will only use that app if I'm in an absolute pinch because just the fees and everything alone don't make sense. For some people, it is going to make sense, especially if you do not have transportation and you're ordering in bulk and you have no way to get your groceries. So you can't outsource your laundry. It's actually a thing. Because I used to be a travel nurse and it used to be an option if you stayed somewhere that didn't have any laundry or have a laundromat around you and you didn't have transportation, but it can get pretty costly. But obviously I have a family of 5, so I do laundry almost every single day. And if you can see how much I have, these are just on the days that I'm catching up on. That was literally like a light load day. Every day there's so many clothes and so many things to put away. I have also been ordering my kids' stuff to do outside because them being cooped up inside drives me crazy. So I could do TaskRabbit, or Amazon has those things where you can pay people to build it for you, but it's easier to just try to figure it out myself, even if I mess it up, because I'm not paying $30 to $50 for somebody to put it together. Cooking. So this is huge, especially in this economy that we're currently in. Going out to eat doesn't make sense anymore, especially when you have a family. Because kids' meals alone are anywhere from $5 to $7, and then the kids usually eat only a little bit of that, and then they act out of control. So even if I were to order it and pick it up myself, it still literally costs so much money to get a bite to eat these days. There's no more 2 for $20. So I try to conserve and cook at home and try to make things healthier because that's obviously a lot harder to do when you're at a restaurant. This takes so much time, but I try to make large meals on the days that I'm off so that everyone has leftovers for the next day and I have stuff to take to work and I don't have to buy at work. But cooking takes a toll on you. And if I were to outsource that, that would cost me hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Outsourcing a nanny or a babysitter is very expensive these days. So I used to babysit like 3 kids, maybe 4 kids at a time, and I would get maybe $40 a night, maybe $50. It was like $5 or $6 an hour. But these days, you literally have to pay people at least $20, if not $25 an hour, which obviously makes sense because that's what the wages should be for childcare workers and whatnot. But our wages as working parents have definitely not caught up to that. So ask any working parent and they're going to feel the sting and the burn of childcare, especially. It is more than our mortgage, if not double our mortgage. In Texas, we paid, I think it was $4,200 a month for childcare for 3 kids. Childcare is where people are really, really feeling the pinch, and people are forced to be stay-at-home parents because people cannot afford childcare or can even get into a childcare facility because they pay childcare workers such low wages, even though we're paying $3,000 to $4,000 a month for childcare. I don't know where the money goes, but the workers really do deserve to have higher wages. But with our 3 kids in daycare, they are constantly getting sick. Someone is always sick, so I'm always having to take off work, rearrange my schedule and whatnot. My daughter was sick for about 2 to 3 weeks in October. Not even sure why I paid my daycare bill for her that month. But yeah, daycare costs are insane. And getting a nanny, depending on how many kids you have, if I have 3 kids, getting a nanny, that would be more costly than daycare. And I don't think anyone wants to watch 3 kids, 3 and under, without being paid a pretty penny, which makes sense because it's so freaking hard to do. So yeah, daycare is definitely the biggest thing. So working parents and parents that don't have help or a village and have to basically pay for their village through Uber Eats, housekeepers, nannies, and whatnot, It's very, very, very unaffordable. Unless you live an extremely comfortable lifestyle, it is very hard to do. And all the things that go on behind the scenes of maintaining a household and caring for children. If we were to outsource these tasks, it would be so extremely expensive that we could not afford it. Because that's how important this labor is. This labor that doesn't get talked about enough. It's expensive because not a lot of people are willing to do it. And if they are, they're going to charge a pretty penny. And if you're a stay-at-home parent doing all of this behind the scenes, you are saving your household so much on income. So that's my mom math for you. This is how much I save my family. Well, on my days off, when I do all these extra tasks that if I could afford it, I would outsource it. But I can't, so I do it for free.